All right. Hello, everyone. Scott here from BetterHealthGuy.com. Thanks for joining me for a Better Health Guy blogcast. Today's topic is infrared sauna therapy. First, I'd like to say that everything in this discussion is for informational purposes only. No comments are intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition. As always, discuss any potential health-related decision with your own personal medical authority. I've personally had a Sunlighten Sauna for about 8 years now, actually over 8 years, and it continues to work as well today as the day that I first got it, and I continue to enjoy the benefits that I receive from it. I think that detoxification is a really critical aspect of regaining and maintaining wellness, and certainly was for me. And so having a Sunlighten sauna in the arsenal of tools that I'm using on a regular basis has really been very, very helpful. So today I wanted to get more information about sauna therapy from an expert in the field, and we're fortunate to have Andrea Duffy, and she has been with Sunlighten for several years and is here today to share her experience with us. Andrea has been in the health and wellness industry for over 5 years, and she oversees business development for Sunlighten. As an infrared expert, she consults with wellness leaders on infrared products and assists the marketing team with a content strategy around the benefits of infrared therapy. Prior to Sunlighten, Andrea worked as a admissions counselor for a local college in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. She's a passionate person about living a healthy lifestyle and incorporates whole foods, running, and infrared therapy into her daily routine. She also frequently practices yoga and is an avid student of clean living. Thanks, Andrea, for taking the time to talk with us today.
Hey Scott, thank you for having me.
All right, so I have a list of questions ready for you, so hopefully we'll cover some of the key things that people are interested in around sauna therapy. So let's go ahead and jump in with those. So can you tell us a little bit about how Sunlighten as a company started and how long the company's been around, and what was really the catalyst for the creation of the Sunlighten brand?
Well, it's been a long journey here at Sunlighten, but how we got started was about 17 years ago. Our founder, Jason Jeffers, was really sick. He was younger, but he had chronic fatigue syndrome due to heavy metal. And through his journey of trying to find out how to heal himself, and he was bedridden, couldn't even turn over, was very sick. So his family and he were just on this long journey of trying to find how to heal. And over a couple of years, it was actually a dentist, a friend,
Wow.
that had recommended doing infrared therapy. So what he did was he ended up finding an infrared blanket, and that's really how it all got started. And then his sister and his brother-in-law, who were assisting him with his wellness journey and come from the medical field, decided just to take a leap of faith and start Sunlighten. And their journey really was to find the highest quality, the highest quantity of infrared that you can get to give you the highest amount of therapy that you can receive, because your time is so important, and so is your sweat. That's really how we all got started.
Awesome. Sometimes it's those leaps of faith that really make the biggest shifts in our life, isn't it? It's amazing.
Absolutely.
So, what are some of the reasons that people use sauna therapy? What are some of the benefits? Why should people be drawn to learn more about this?
Well, most people come here just for looking primarily for detoxification. That's the number one reason that we have. We're looking to detox from heavy metals, environmental pollutants, different types of pesticides that we take into our food. Some people are really sick because they can't detox all on their own, but then they find out that there's a lot of different health benefits that come along with it. Heart health is a big benefit, and we have been proven to help with maintaining healthy blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugars through UMKC. Weight loss is also another reason that people will use infrared technology. We do have a weight loss research study that shows an upwards toward 600 calories per sauna session if you're in there from 30 to 40 minutes. So that's another huge benefit.
Wow, I gotta run. Gotta go get it in the sauna.
Yeah, everyone's losing weight. We're all walking around skinny.
Awesome. That's good.
Yeah, and pain relief. It's amazing because until you use the sauna, you don't realize how much joint inflammation you actually have. Even the healthiest person gets in there and they get out and they're like, I feel so good. I feel loose. I feel relaxed, comfortable. So it's just amazing, and it does promote deep relaxation. It just when you're in there, you learn to meditate, you learn to reflect, you learn to think about your day. So we don't take enough time to do that, and the sauna kind of forces you to do that, and it's one of the things that I really love about it.
Nice. Yeah, I know when I do mine, and then kind of rinse off for the rest of the day, I just feel really clean. It's just a different
Mhm.
feeling that you kind of have after doing the sauna. So yeah, I agree. It's great. When I got my Sunlighten Sauna, which was 2008, at that point, I think it was really focused on the far infrared aspect of the infrared ray spectrum. So I know now you guys do near, far, mid, full spectrum. So how are these different, and how do they affect different types of conditions that people might be looking to improve?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we developed, and this was back in after years of research, we launched in 2010 our full spectrum unit, which is our 3-in-1 therapy. That 3-in-1 contains near infrared, mid infrared, and far. So the near infrared wavelength, it's over a broad spectrum, starts around 247 nanometers and goes to about 1300 nanometers. You can see near infrared done at different ranges, which is going to give you different light. So blue light, green light, red light, these are all, and then there's invisible penetrating heat. So the wavelength that we use within our 3-in-1 system is the near infrared, which is the it's going to be between the range of 700 and 900 nanometers. We actually use the precise wavelength of 880 nanometers within inside of our unit. And that number is so important because through research that we've done at Sunlighten, and also research that's been done other places, so this has been proven, at 880 nanometers, that's when you're going to get the highest level of penetration. And the benefit of getting the deepest, the, the most absorption is that you're able to help with regenerating healthy cells faster through near infrared. Boosting of the mitochondria comes from near infrared, wound healing, cell health, increasing your immune system, helping with even skin tones, anti-aging. Those are the reasons that people will use near infrared. Also, surface pain. Our mid infrared is just a little bit longer. So mid infrared is not as long as the far, but it hones in specifically on the soft tissue. And the people who identify with using the mid infrared are those with a lot of pain, because it's going to keep the soft tissue, allowing your body to increase circulation, increase blood flow. It's going to expand the blood vessels differently than using just one wavelength. So we did do an Auburn University study with increased range of motion. That study was done over 5 weeks. Most of our studies are done over 5 to 6 weeks, 30 minutes, 3 times a week. And the results of that study is that the group that was using the mid-infrared increased their range of motion and flexibility 205% over the
Wow.
other. Yeah, so the whole group was doing the splits, but it's awesome. So if you're somebody like myself that loves yoga, what a good way to really take advantage and be able to reach your full potential, or if you're looking to be active and just be less prone to injury. The mid-infrared is what you want to use for that. And then the far infrared is the detoxification that comes from the far. So raising of the total body's core temperature, the cellular, deep cellular sweat, where you're actually going to remove toxins, comes from far infrared. It's the deepest penetration. It causes the most rigorous vibration to the cellular level, causing you to purge those toxins. Also, heart health comes from far infrared. Deep penetrating relaxation comes from far infrared. So it's nice to be able to offer all three in one unit.
I know. In fact, now you're making me making me want to get an upgrade. Every time I go to
Yeah,
a conference and see you guys there and walk in, and it's so computerized and very nice and has all the different programs built in. And so one of these days, but it's amazing too that 8 years later that it still looks and works as well as the first day that I got it. So I mean, I think that says a lot about the craftsmanship and the quality of the product that you guys put together. So, um, what kinds of feedback have you gotten? Most of the people that I tend to reach out to are people that have Lyme disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, mold illness, and things along those lines. And so, what kinds of things does sauna potentially do for that group of people? And what are some of the comments or feedback maybe that you've gotten from people that have those kinds of conditions?
Yeah, that's a great question because that is primary. A lot of our customers, that's why they're looking at getting our saunas. So we do get a lot of feedback from different customers as we've been in the business for 17 years. One of the things that you really want to do when you're feeling this way is you want to raise your total body's core temperature. And you want to raise your total body's core temperature at least 3 degrees, so you're falsifying that fever. And by doing that, you're fighting the bacteria, which causes a lot of these illnesses because your temperature tends to be low when you're ill this way. And this is a good way just to get it up. But also, in addition to that, sweating. When you're feeling this way, you're not going to be sweating. You're not going to go outside. You're not going to be working out, but a productive sweat as well. So, with the vibration that I was talking about with the far infrared, the more far infrared you get, the more rigorous the vibration that's going to be at the cellular level. That's what's going to cause your body to purge toxins through that rigorous vibration. In Sunlighten, we have a patent on our far infrared wavelength, and it's an emissivity patent, which breaks down to how much am I getting when I'm in there, the total amount of absorption, and it's at 99%. So you're getting a very, very rigorous vibration, which is causing your body to purge a lot of these hard toxins that otherwise you would not be able to release. So the experience that customers have is release of brain fog and increased energy and a lot of decrease in pain relief. We're just going to release all the pain within your joints. It's amazing just to talk to somebody even after the person use it, how good they feel.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. And it's nice to hear that the raising the core body temperature through the use of the sauna also potentially helps the bacterial issues that a lot of people with those conditions are dealing with as well. So that's great. What about people that have multiple sclerosis? And I know there's some types of MS that heat actually can make things worse. So is sauna therapy contraindicated in those people, or what are your thoughts on that?
So no, we have somebody actually on our staff that has MS as well. So, and she has one of the units at home. And the reason that it's safe, you want to start slow with any therapy, of course, especially if you are sick. The idea is just to start slow and work your way into it because it is a very fast detoxification. You're going to get fast recovery, but too fast can be bad. So if you fall within this category, the best thing to do is start around 10-15 minutes per day. But the reason that it's different, so convectional heat heats the air, and that convection can get really, really hot. So like in a traditional sauna, that's going to operate between 180 and 240 degrees. When you're inside of a Sunlighten unit, what you're getting is you're getting a penetrating heat. So we've removed a lot of the convection. You're not going to feel overwhelmed ever when you're in there. You're just going to feel very natural, very radiant, and very compatible with the heat. And one of the things I always tell people, just because you make it hotter doesn't mean you're getting more because it's penetrating. So if you're not supposed to be in really, really hot environment, then that's okay. You don't need to because you're not getting any more. The only reason people make it a lot hotter is because their goal is to sweat more. Obviously, if it's warmer, it's going to raise your core temperature and you're going to sweat a lot more. But there's a lot of benefit to far infrared where you're just getting in there and feeling the nice radiant heat. You're still going to sweat, and you're still going to feel better.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I've heard some people say, I'm curious to see if you agree with this, that some of the hotter saunas, like the Finnish saunas, that's really kind of more heating from the outside in, where with like far infrared and stuff, that it's almost more that you're kind of heating more from the inside out, and that's why it doesn't really need to be quite as hot externally. Does that resonate?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's exactly the process that you want, and that's what makes it so much safer.
Okay.
And I'm going to pop on my lights real quick to figure it off.
Okay. All right. Great.
There
Sure.
we go.
So some of the questions that I get a lot actually when we talk about Sunlighten and people that see, Sunlighten or other brands at different trade shows and conferences and things like that is, are they non-toxic? What kinds of materials are used in terms of plastics or glues or other things that maybe people that are really sensitive or have multiple chemical sensitivities might react to? And then kind of adding on to that, there's always the questions about EMFs and people looking for low EMR, EMF saunas and certain sauna companies that really kind of advertise a lot in that realm around, low or no EMFs and so on. And I know that's an area that Sunlighten has also had a lot of focus on. So be interested in your thoughts and comments around, potential toxicities, materials, things like that.
Absolutely. And that is a very important question, making sure that your unit is made from the right thing. And one of the things that we've done with our units is that we have a third-party EMF test that we did through Vitatech, measuring the amount of EMF within inside of the unit, showing it at it's almost virtually indetectable. So it's a very, very low range. It's a lot less than something you would receive from your cell phone or your computer. So you're even much safer just even inside of the sauna. And another thing that we offer, as well as the low EMF, we offer basswood, which is a hypoallergenic option. So somebody who has a hypersensitivity to odor or different environmental allergies and things, and they definitely it would be a no-brainer. Just go with the basswood because that's a certified hypoallergenic wood.
Okay.
We do use a small amount of glue within our unit, but it's a water-based non-toxic glue, and we also have a non-toxic certification on that as well. We are a wellness company, so we test everything that we do, and we have the most sensitive customers, and we've had really good experience with them. And one of the things that really, even if you have a company that has all three of these different types of non-toxic materials, which Sunlighten does, one of the things you always want to make sure is that you're finding a unit that has enough bar and thread. So a lot of times people ask, what makes Sunlighten so different than the other companies out there? The primary difference is that we have third-party testing showing how we raise the body's core temperature and how much bar and thread are you getting when you're in there. And then we also have our emissivity patent. So just because you have a unit that's going to be, safe, you still want to make sure that you're getting one that's going to provide therapy.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great that the EMFs are really low in Sunlighten saunas. It's interesting because people, spend 30, 45 minutes in the sauna, and there's so much focus on EMFs from sauna, and yet, we sit next to wireless routers and we have cell phones in our pockets and all of these things that are more, all day long or all night long exposures, depending on where we are in our home and so on. So, I've never had any concerns about Sunlighten. I've responded really well to it and had lots of good benefits from using them. So yeah, I think that's great that you guys pay so much attention to those toxicities and materials and things of that nature. So thank you. What do you normally recommend from a frequency and duration of sauna use? I've heard some people say that you should stay in for 45 minutes and sweat as much as possible. I've heard other people say that once you start sweating, that over 90% of what will actually be excreted happens within the first 5 to 10 minutes. So kind of different perspectives. What do you guys generally recommend?
So we have done studies on this, and we recommend once you build up to it, to start sweating in upwards towards 30 minutes. I always sauna 45 to 50 minutes. One of the things that you want to do once you start sweating is you want to continue to sweat. So through our total body core temperature test, once you're in there for 30 minutes, you'll raise your core temperature 3 degrees. And it takes about 20 minutes once you exit the sauna for your core temperature slowly start to return back to normal. So even when you're not in the unit, your core temperature is still raised. Because it's a penetrating heat, the longer you're in there, the more you're getting. And if you want to raise your core temperature, you're not going to get that full 3 degrees if you're only in there for 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then you want to continue to sweat as well. One of the tests that we've done recently, which it hasn't been published yet, is just once you sauna and then you go to the bathroom, just the different toxins that you lose to the urine as well.
So, nice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would actually expect that to be the case. So that's cool that you guys are also doing research to show that, because that's pretty compelling for people that are, trying to figure out what kind of tools will be the best for detoxification. I think it's not always just about, taking more things orally to help detoxify the body, but the more of these kinds of tools like sauna that we can just put into our daily routine. I think the health benefits over time are really potentially significant. What are, besides feeling great, what are some of the potential side effects of sauna therapy, or are there some people that it's really just completely contraindicated and they should not use it until they're more stable or have improved their health in other ways potentially?
Mhm. So one of the things, if you are very toxic and you sauna too much first, what might happen is you might feel like you have the flu, just very fatigued, body ache. So if you feel that way, then that's a good indication that you need to back off. The sauna is very, very safe for most people. The only one I would recommend not getting in there is someone who is pregnant, um, just because you wouldn't want to raise your core temperature too much during that time. When you're inside of a sauna, it's just really listening to your body and drinking water. That's what's going to protect you from feeling fatigued once you get out.
Okay, great. And do you actually recommend people drink water while they're in the sauna?
It depends on because the floor has a heater in it, so you
Uh-huh.
have to be careful.
Yeah.
Our company would probably say no for warranty reasons, but
Right. Yeah, I've never even thought of doing that, especially because most people would probably think of bringing plastic, and then I wouldn't want the
yeah.
plastic to heat up, and all that stuff.
And glass actually gets crazy hot when you're in there
Hmm.
because of the penetrating heat.
Yeah.
So if you do drink
Okay.
a glass of water, and be careful.
Yeah, that's fun. So during a sauna session, I know some people maybe they like to wear a t-shirt or a towel or a robe or something. So how do those things impact the ability of the rays to really penetrate deeply into the body?
So we recommend going in there naked if you can. But if you're, say, for instance, if you're going to a commercial location or a location where you don't feel comfortable being naked, or if you have, at my house, we have a bunch of kids running around, so I don't feel comfortable doing that either. But we have bamboo carbon wraps, and the reason we recommend the bamboo carbon material is that the bamboo makes it ultra durable, and it makes it really, really absorbent. But the carbon that's woven through the bamboo is the same material that is made from the heaters. So you're not blocking any of the emissivity of the unit.
Okay,
So it's a good thing to wear. And then it's antifungal, antimicrobial, and naturally deodorizing. So you can actually
nice.
wear it a couple times and it cuts back on laundry.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's nice to know. So, some people don't always sweat. So, what are some of the things that they can do to kind of improve sweating over time? I've heard some people use certain lymphatic drainage products that maybe help there. But if you're not someone that sweats, how do you start getting that sweating to happen?
So if you're somebody who takes a long time to sweat, eventually you will start to sweat faster. So once you train your body to sweat, the faster and faster you're going to sweat. We do offer a product called Pure Sweat, which is a sweat amplifying cream.
Which I
It
love.
yeah, it dilates your pores and it causes you to sweat a ton more. I mean, most people they try it on one arm first, and then they really realize the difference of the amount of sweat that comes through. So if you have any areas that you notice that you're not sweating at all, like your belly, or if you have any areas that are injured and you want to increase the amount of heat, so you get more oxygen flow to that area, then you can use the Pure Sweat cream. And again, I'll say it many times, but just drink a lot of water, and that will also cause you to sweat more as well.
Awesome. Yeah, it's you sent me some of the Pure Sweat to try, and I thought, well, I already sweat, so I don't know that I'll notice anything. And I put it on, and wow, it was noticeable in terms of the difference in the increase in sweating. So I was pretty impressed with that. Actually, it's a great tool.
Yeah.
So let's talk then a little bit about, once someone takes a sauna, the sauna session is done. I've always heard that you want to make sure that you don't reabsorb some of the toxins that are being liberated into the sweat. So do people really need to take a shower afterwards? Can they just, wet towel off? What's the best way to kind of do the post sauna approach?
So actually, what we recommend is we have the bamboo carbon products where people can dry towel off while they're inside of the sauna, so it doesn't cool. But you're so much cleaner once you get out of the sauna because you've just rid of everything. So a shower is not necessary as your body is in a very, very clean, natural state. And it's actually a good idea not to get the shower right away. You want to wait a little bit to allow your core temperature to continue to stay raised. And that's a great time to do your stretches. Um, and a dry towel off and do some of your stretches and give it about 30 minutes to an hour to jump in the shower. So you're
Okay.
not reabsorbing anything that's coming through your water. So especially if you don't have a water filter,
Hmm.
you just have to be careful with that.
Yeah, that's actually great. So I'm learning new things too, even after having used it for 8 years. So thank you for being here to share with us. So I know some people, because of their illness, because of the stress that we have in the world, that their adrenals can often be an issue. I've heard some practitioners say that maybe people need to make sure that they get their adrenals to a better place of balance before they really jump into heat therapies and sauna therapy, things like that. I've also heard people talk about needing to replace certain things after doing a sauna, like minerals or electrolytes and so on. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about, are there, some of the people like the adrenally depleted people that maybe should take a slightly different approach? And then what kinds of things do we do to support the body once we're done with the sauna?
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that it would be a good idea for everybody to do, and it's just taking time to replace the nutrients that you are going to sweat out. You're sweating out a lot of bad stuff, but you're also going to lose a little bit of the good as well. So what we recommend is a potassium, magnesium, trisalt with 3 electrolyte in it. And we do have trisalt packets that we offer here through Sunlighten. But if you're not taking those, then definitely taking some magnesium, taking some potassium is going to help. If you notice that you have any sort of, like with any sort of like muscle cramping or muscle spasms, and that's a really good indication that you're missing some of it, that you're sweating out too much of that. So it's a good time to start replacing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about the adrenally stressed person? Do you think that sauna therapy is still okay for them generally, or do they need to do some work before they get to the stage of using saunas?
I believe it's great for them
Okay.
because yeah, awesome. Because you get in there and you increase your circulation, and it's going to get everything moving and flowing, and it's going to do it naturally. And it's a safe amount of infrared that you're receiving.
Okay.
So it's really the only thing you need to change is just the amount of time that you're in there and start slow. But
Yeah.
it's a really, really good idea. There's no better way to get everything moving and circulating than getting in there and raising
And,
raising.
and, and I think I think that advice is great for whether it's sauna therapy or anything really that we're introducing, is really to start slow and kind of, watch and monitor, listen to our body and our intuition, and then kind of work up over time. I've learned that lesson the hard way many, many times over the last many years of recovering my own health. So, um,
Yeah,
what about other complementary things when people are using sauna? Does it make sense, let's say, for me to take some kind of charcoal or binder or fiber or something before getting into the sauna? So one of the things that I've thought about in the past is, I know with the rays, we're kind of causing some toxins to be released in the body. Some of it comes out through the sweat, but then some of it also potentially within tissues and stuff that the body then also will excrete. And you mentioned, in the urine, for example. So would it make sense to incorporate some of these binders into the sauna process?
absolutely. Taking those types of binders are going to help with capturing toxins that are released in the bloodstream. So, I always take a fiber. I take an activated charcoal, not all the time, because activated charcoal isn't something you want to take every day. It might be too binding. That's just something that you take if you feel like you've had a hard toxin
Yeah.
day where you maybe didn't eat something the right food. But then also one of the things that you can take before you sauna is you take vitamin C, which will help with the vascular detoxification process as well.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, great advice. How does the solo sauna that you guys, I know you have the solo system where the head kind of stays out. So for which kinds of people might that be a better option than the full walk-in sauna?
And the solo is great for everyone. Actually, I've been with the company for 6 years, so I purchased 2 saunas since I've been here. I started with the solo system, and now I have a wooden cabin, which I got last year. This, and I still use a solo. It's an awesome unit. Most of the staff has the solo unit. It's portable, but then also when you're in there, you're horizontal, which is going to help with facilitating even better circulation, being in that nice relaxed state. And then the proximity of the solo heaters, just for somebody who hasn't seen it before, let me describe it a little bit so
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about. The solo system has a solo pad, which has our medical grade bar and thread heaters. So the entire pad lines with heaters. And then there's a solo dome, which the dome is a wooden dome that telescopes up over the body. It's our portable unit, so you can move it in, you can plug it in anywhere. So it's a great option for somebody if they're living in an apartment or condo, or they move around a lot as well. But so you just telescope the dome up over your body. You can put your face in it as well if you want to, or you can stick your face out. Some people don't like the idea of breathing in the heat and having your face in there. So obviously for them, it's going to still be a really good option. You still raise your core temperature and you're still going to sweat from the face even though you're not fully in there. So that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are those people that being fully in the heat and even breathing the warm air, maybe it's not as comfortable. I mean, I have the wooden walk-in as well, but I have used portable saunas in the past, and just having that coolness is kind of nice for some people. So for those that don't like the, full walk-in experience, yeah, I think it's another good option. I know you guys have added some new tools also since I got mine, but I've seen the sound and light therapy and those things. So, what do those things do, and who are some of the people that those might be beneficial for?
So the chromotherapy is light therapy. What we offer within our chromotherapy is 16 different light hues, which allows the body to use light therapy to change the frequency of your mood. So sometimes if you're feeling over hungry and you're looking for weight loss, you might sit in orange. It's said to make you less hungry, or if you're looking to increase circulation, you can sit in low blue light. Or if you have seasonal disorder, you can change the color inside of the sauna to help that way. And the other therapy that we have, which we're talking about, is the vibrational therapy, and it's awesome. All of our units include a radio, other than the solo because it's portable, but all of our wooden cabins include a radio. But what the vibrational therapy is it works in conjunction with music playing inside of the sauna to create a light sensational vibration throughout the body, which is helping with balancing your whole central nervous system. People with or children even with autism, they really identify with it. It helps with deeper relaxation, just listening to music and feeling it at the same time, channels your body to get into a very, very deep relaxed state, allows you to forget your to-do list. So if you're somebody who has a lot of stress in your life, and you have a hard time relaxing, then definitely this is something you should consider. Yeah. Because having that system just allows you just to do it, and the more you're relaxed, the better you're going to be.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love light therapy, sound therapy, so it's great that you guys incorporate that into one whole sauna experience. Now it's really nice. So I know there's a number of kind of thought leaders out there in the health and wellness arena. Lots of different companies that do saunas and that they talk about. So who are some of the thought leaders in that in the health and wellness arena that really talk about and have explored Sunlighten?
Well, we have a long list of health leaders that have our units and they love our brand. But just some of the ones that we definitely partner with and they have our units within their facility is Dr. Jernigan from the Honda Center.
Yeah,
he has our units. He's awesome.
He's a fantastic practitioner. I've known him for a while and just really love him to death for all of the tools that he's brought together. I've been to his clinic there and done some courses with him that he was teaching, and they have some really great things at their center.
Yeah, it's an awesome place. And he's actually local because we're in Overland Park, Kansas.
Okay.
And they're located in Wichita, so it's not too far. And then the founder of the Ultra Wellness Center, Dr. Mark Hyman, who is a New York Times bestseller, he has our unit, but he actually uses a solo within his facility. And then he has our 3-in-1 therapy in his home. So he's talked about us and he's included us within his books to be seeing the difference between his customers as well. Biohacking expert, Dave Asprey.
Yeah, nice.
He has one of our unit, our 3-in-1 therapy. He uses that one as well. And then he also has a New York bestseller, Times bestseller book Dr. Klinghardt, who is a Lyme expert, a detox expert as well. He has
Yep.
our unit within the Sophia Health Institute. So it's a great institute.
He was actually my doctor for many years and has really been my number one mentor since I first went to one of his conferences in 2006, and I have nothing but gratitude and great things to say for him. And Sophia Health has really helped a tremendous number of people as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we have a thyroid and immune doctor, autoimmune expert, Dr. Amy Myers as well.
Yeah, she's well known. She's got a very popular book also.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, that's amazing. That's, with the choices that are out there and all of the things that people, you see at conferences of, oh, I have, better this or better that or whatever. It's pretty impressive that you've got, those are some really big people that I know don't jump into something without doing a tremendous amount of research first. So, yeah, that's very cool.
The awesome thing is they all have one in their own home, but then they also, after getting one in their own, decided to put one in their facility. So it really speaks to the amount of people that they know that they can help with it, to put one in there right within the office so people can use.
It was kind of funny when I moved into the townhouse that I'm in now. When it was being built, I actually had to have them change some of the way they were going to put the pipes and stuff in the garage so that I had enough space exactly to fit the sauna. So it was nice that they were so accommodating, because otherwise I wasn't sure how I was going to get to continue to use it. But if people are interested in exploring this further, are there any kinds of special offers that you guys have, or anything that you want to share with our listeners around that?
Yeah, if anybody calls in and talks to one of our staff, what we can do is we can offer free shipping, and then we can also offer the Pure Sweat, so you can go ahead and give it a try. The jar has about 60 applications in there, so it definitely is enough for you to use and find out if you really like it.
Yeah, I wondered how long it was supposed to last, because I noticed I didn't really need very much of it. So I've done it 3 times and it's still barely even started really getting into the bottle. So that's great. Awesome. So free shipping, that's great, because it's a heavy product. I remember the day it showed up and they kind of left it on the curb and they were like, great, here you go. So
well, you'll like this, because now we bring it in. We don't leave it on the curb.
Oh, nice. That's wonderful. So if people are interested in learning more about Sunlighten Sauna, I know you guys have a fantastic team, people that really understand the technology and can kind of guide people and help them through that. So what's the best way for people to connect with your team?
The best way to connect is to call in and speak with one of our sauna experts that we have here. You can reach them at 877-292-0020. And then also we have an amazing website that shows a lot of our studies that we talked about today at sunlighten.com. So either way, and you can go on there and do a little research, or you can call in and just talk to somebody one-on-one, and we're happy to help.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, this has been really, really great. So any last words that you may want to share?
No, just thank you for your time. Really, it's awesome to be able to share this way. I get inspired by helping people, so my goal is to make sure that this interview educates somebody, and then they realize that there is other products out there that can help, and you're not alone. We have a lot of people who are looking to get well this way, so definitely I do encourage you to call us. We have everyone in the floor has their own story and have been helped by our products, so that's really, really cool thing to find. So.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great. Well, thank you very much for spending time with us today. I definitely appreciate your time. I learned some new things, which was great. So if people are interested in learning more, you can also find out more about Sunlighten on my website, betterhealthguy.com. Under Wellness Tools, you'll see my page there on the blog about Sunlighten. And now I think I should run off and do a sauna. Now that I know all the great benefits, it's time to go run and do that. So thanks everyone for listening, and best of health.
Thanks. Bye.